more teams begin their campaign tonight, and both of them are special in their own ways. Northeast United, a side which everyone wants to see succeed. And Mumbai City, the defending League Shield winners. The 10th season of the Indian Super League gathers momentum in Guwahati. And there is so much to talk about on Let's Football. One side wants to forget last season, and the other wants to relive it. Des Buckingham in the house along with one Pedro Benali. The remarkably talented Des. And this lovely gesture as well later on from Juan Pedro Benali for the assistant Hiroshi Miyazawa. That Mumbai City duo can make the side look slick on the pitch, and it is time to unleash the beast that is Mumbai City. Siju Matthew and Paul Macefield are the protagonists on the show. And look at that smile on Siju's face, the Des effect. Mace, the ISL has seen a lot of nice guys come in as managers, but not only does Des seem like a great bloke, as they would say in England, he's a top head coach and a winner.
No, he is. There's no doubt about that. Serial winner. The way that he goes about his business, he's very shrewd, and his team that he's got around him, he's actually the first person to turn around and say it's not just all about him. He gets intake from all of the coaching staff, everybody. And I tell you something, in this day and age, you have to do that. And Des does it very, very well. He's been here now, this is his third season, coming up to his third season. He's already won the Shield, and he's done wonders with the team. And they performed well in Asia last year. Long may they do that this year.
Well. One thing I have to say that he's back. Definitely the white shirt is back again. But he's got a new haircut though, so I miss the gelled hair.
I'll tell you what though, it's still not as good as Owen's beard, is it?
Well, Siju, football is magical, but it is also a sport in which clubs have to be smart, and they have to have an open hand with spending on new players. Do you have a pick among the best signings?
Of course, it has to be Akash Mishra, right? He's been the guy on the go since his days at Hyderabad FC, and he was the star player. And Mumbai City FC fans, I'm sure, waiting to see him on the pitch. But Mace, the question I have for you is the Dutchman Van Neef a good pick?
Absolutely top draw. You've got to turn around and you've got to look at their scouting system that they do have with the City group, so they can tap into that. And let's put it this way, they haven't signed a bad foreigner over the past 2 seasons since the City group came in to the Indian Super League, so they are using the resources that they have. So for me, it's not just about the foreign players they're bringing in, but it's securing the services of this man, Mishra. They're bringing in Apuya, another top draw player, so they do spend well locally and domestically, or foreign as well, foreign and local.
And what about the Jahu gap? A new guard, no Murtada Fall, no Jahu.
No problem. You've got to get on with it. Football is football, and football is life. And when things happen, sometimes players do move on. We don't know why Jahu left. Maybe the contract is better at Odisha. Maybe he felt that it was time for a change. Maybe Mumbai thought it was time for a change, because at times Jahu did slow the game down a little bit too much for Mumbai last year. Bringing in Van Neef, you won't see that. You'll see a little bit more dynamicism trying to move further forwards.
The teams are out, and this is the first side Des Buckingham will put out. Is there going to be a stylistic change? Do you see the same principles being applied?
Well, one thing I am surprised though is to see Mohammad Nawaz's name there after Purba having a great season. I think, you ask any Mumbai City FC fan, he's been the pick for them. So, but yeah, we've also seen Nawaz in the past. But after that, I think it does look like a good team. Does look good, very good on the paper for sure. But Mace, remember Thierry's tweet? Football is played on the grass, not on paper.
That's a little bit legendary, isn't it? But Purba's not even on the bench, so you just have to wonder if he's not got himself a little knock, which is why Nawaz has been brought in. But at the end of the day, you've got to get the job done. He has done it before. He knows what it's all about. Nawaz, he went down the pecking order, didn't he, when he got brought into Mumbai? And obviously Lechempa then started to hit his straps. But, you know, with Bipin, with Changte, they've got quality in wide areas, and that's why they've created so many issues and problems for teams in the past couple of seasons.
Imagine the Techers in training. El Khayati, Changte, Bipin, Pereira Diaz, they can all get past the first man and put in a final ball. How exciting can this team be?
I think it's been an exciting time for some time at least, so it continues to be. We also have some local homegrown players with Rahul Beke and Jayesh Rane also returning.
Well, now it's time to hear from Des Buckingham, the main man, the head coach.
Hi Des, great to see you back this season. Do you feel that there is a little bit more pressure on you and your side this season after your exploits from last year?
No, I think every season you start afresh. The benefit, I suppose, that we have is the continuity. I think there's only Ivan at Kerala and myself who are still with the same team from when I arrived, you know, going into season number 3 here. So the continuity of a head coach and then the continuity, of course, of those players that played the football they did last year and broke the records. It's a very large core we've been able to retain and then build upon. So that's probably the one thing I'm looking forward to now is season number 3. We know we have to adapt and adjust, but we've got a very solid foundation to do that from.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're one of the few sides that have changed the least number of players, but you have managed to register Guwahati in time to replace Nogueira, who obviously got injured. What can he bring to your side this season?
I think anybody that see him play last year for Chennai when he was able, the attacking flair that he certainly brings in that final third in terms of creating for himself firstly, and then others in and around him, very similar to a Greg Stewart type player for us. So, you know, there may be times where we get both of them on the field and can be supported by the other 3 or 4 that we have in that front line, which I'm very excited to see. He'll bring something different to Alberto, but again, we've got Joel Van Niefe, and we know Apuya can play as a 6 as well. So to be able to bring an Guwahati into this quality of group, I think he'll just give us something slightly different.
It's a revamped Northeast side and a very young Northeast side. Have you prepared right? No complacency in your camp?
We're very much aware of it's a new head coach. It's a very different Northeast side than we faced here when we won 3-1 last year and we won 4-0 at home. We're very aware of that. They've 6 new foreigners, a lot of young domestic players, and not only young domestic players, but players that are from their region and from this region, which I think always adds an extra bit of motivation and effort, certainly on their part. So we're aware of that. We'll be ready for that, and we just need to make sure, again, that we continue to build on our performances to put ourselves in the best position possible.
There's all the best for tonight and for the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Well, this is the shape of Mumbai City, and this is nitpicking now. Mace, is there any area where they can improve?
Everywhere, every single player. You never stand still when it comes to football. You've got to learn. And we spoke to Chanti a little bit earlier as well, and he said that as well. So they do. Everybody has issues and problems and weaknesses. You always work on your strengths, but you work more on your weaknesses as well to improve. But there are little areas and there are chinks in certain armours in all of the teams that if you watch and you study and you come up with a game plan, you can break them down.
You know, we look at the game slightly differently. Mace has played it, he's the expert. As someone who watches it for enjoyment, do you want something different from Mumbai City or same old, just like last season?
We definitely need changes, right? It can't be the same old team because you have a difference of players, but also to see, I just saw a comment that came up by Apuya. He said that he's no more the young Apuya. He's going to be a leader this time. That's good confidence that he's built, and kudos to Buckingham and the team. So definitely, I would want to see a different team, what they have to bring, because there's a different mix of players as well.
It's all down the wings, isn't it, for Mumbai City? And down those wings are Bipin and the golden boy, Lalian Zwala Changte. Let's hear from him.
Zwala, great to have you back this season. You had a wonderful season last year. Can you better that? That is the question.
Yeah, I think I have a long way to go. Even though we were having a beautiful, wonderful season to remember, I think this year is going to be much more difficult. That's a fact, because I've seen clubs doing well in Durand Cup in the pre-season, and the clubs that we've been playing with this season, they're very, very good during the pre-season. So it is going to be much more harder, but I think with God's grace and hard work and with the teammates and with the help of the coaches, I think I can do much more better than last year, and I think it will start from tonight, hopefully.
Well, the team hasn't changed too much. You've really kept the core to that side, and there are a few additions. What's it like playing with these new players that are coming into the side?
I think since they come in, they've been gelling up very well. Joel and Guwahati, he was joining like few weeks ago. I mean, few days ago, but they are like connecting very well in terms of the game plans and what we've been doing the last couple of years. So I think there won't be a problem, as you see in the ISL match, and during the preseason as well. We've been doing very well, and I know we have the likes of Joe, Paul last season, and it's going to be hard to fill the spaces, but I think they did fill the space, and especially in the ISL, it will start from today. So it's very positive, I think.
You managed to score and bag yourself 10 goals last season. Have you set yourself any personal targets for this year?
Yeah, I've set my standard and very high. I mean, in terms of statistic, I want to do better than last year. Yeah, of course, in terms of scoring goals, and I want to improve a lot more in terms of assists as well. And most importantly, I want to help my team, getting 3 points.
That's the most important thing. Good luck tonight. I hope you get what you want. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
The most important thing for Changte is that he helps out his team, and he helps out my team. Laliamzola Changte is in my fantasy side. He's going to score 12 goals tonight. Mace?
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Are you sure?
Mace, your captain is Greg Stewart.
No, he's my vice captain.
He's your vice captain,
Yeah.
but are you excited?
Yes, I am. I'm over the moon. I've got a couple of players performing tonight in the Fantasy League. And listen, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You were bragging to me at breakfast this morning about how good your team is and all your players are getting points. Let me just tell you something. Come and tell me at the end of the season.
Well, Siju has been lazy in making a team, so 0 points for you. But any fantasy advice for those watching?
Well, definitely have Greg Stewart for sure, and it's so good to hear even Changte being up there, right? We mentioned how Apuya was confident, and we are good to see that Changte is also confident to go for it, and definitely looking forward to the season. And what about Northeast, though?
We are now going to switch our attention to one Pedro Benali. And he's got a bit of a Benitez about him, doesn't he? More managerial, more headmaster-like. Almost as if he will send you out to do 20 laps if you make a mistake. But maybe this is the kind of head coach the team requires.
Yes, because he's not just working with the first team. I know for a fact that he's been working all the way through the club as well with the younger players. They are looking to try and build that reserve team as well. So he's working across the board. And let me tell you, he's a very intelligent man. He speaks about 4 or 5 different languages. He actually speaks Japanese, which is why he was speaking to the assistant coach in Japanese. He also speaks Arabic, French, and English. That's just to name a few, with his mother tongue of Spanish as well.
You never call me clever. I speak 5 languages.
Yeah, but none of them are English, though. That's the problem, Puller. So I don't understand you.
All right, Siju, what do you make of the transfers? But more importantly, because you followed the sport in the country, Mandar Tamane, CEO, tasked with rebuilding the side, and you did mention a John Abraham interview as well.
Yes, and good to see, someone like John Abraham, who's at the helm of the team, being happy about the bunch of players that he has and definitely wants. He was very cheeky enough to say that he's asked one thing from the team, please win the trophy this time. But no pressures on the team for sure. But yes, as you mentioned, Mandar Tamane, definitely good stuff. And we've seen what he's done in the past. But all eyes on Juan and his team.
All eyes on one Pedro Benali. And Northeast, there is palpable excitement this time with this new setup. Let's hear from the Spaniard.
Hi, Juan. Welcome to India. Welcome to the Northeast. How have you personally settled into life in India?
Well, till now, 2.5 months, very good. People are great. Everything to work. Players are ready to work. Everybody here is good with us. We have everything to do our job. Very good.
Lots of new players this season compared with last year. How have the preparations been going in to the first league game?
Well, as you know, we are preparing a team. It's not only for the first team. We're preparing for all the season. We're building a new team, a mixture between young and veterans. Very important game, difficult, very difficult. Again, one of the best teams in India. And I hope we are on the level.
What can we expect from you, Juan, your style of play from the Northeast this season?
I didn't understand, please.
What can we expect? Your style of play? How are you going to impart that on your players?
Well, our players, they must be ready all the time. You know, for us, the most important is this game. We don't look further. We just think about this game, be the more concentrated possible, do the less mistakes possible, and try to get the best result possible.
Thank you so much for your time, Juan. Hope you get the right results. All the best for tonight.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Mace, the way you were so excited that he speaks so many languages, I thought you will probably do this interview in 5 different languages.
See, there's one for you, Spanish, so that's all about. We can go with that one. There's one, French, but I'm not going anymore. You're doing me head in. I can't, that's too much. It's information overload.
Well, this is the side that will take on Mumbai City. And remember, Banali has lost just once in 5 games in charge of the Highlanders. That includes a 2-all draw with FC Goa and a very entertaining 5-3 defeat to East Bengal. But there's a bit of mystery about this side, isn't it? What they can do and they will do.
Under the radar, I think. I think they came to the fore, didn't they, during the Durand Cup, and we saw a different Northeast than what we saw last year. We saw a side that was really struggling, really couldn't get results. Yet all of a sudden they've brought in Banali, and he seems to have galvanised them. Musa has come in. They brought a lot of young players in. 19 players in all got transferred into the Northeast this year. It takes a little bit of time to gel. It takes a little bit of time to settle down. But I'm telling you, what I saw during the Durand Cup, this is going to be a side that will cause problems to sides throughout the season. There's no doubt about that.
And just like Adrian Luna once mentioned, you look at it from a distance, Indian football, it seems easy. When you play it, difficult.
True, because you also see certain players, right? When I look at the lineup, I am excited to see Ashir Akhtar. We have some players who've done well in the I-League, and to see them up here now, as Mace mentioned that they have new players on the pitch. So definitely hoping that this team does not finish last after so many seasons of being disheartening for us to see, right?
No, they want to battle, they want to fight, and they're actually getting a little bit of depth to the squad as well now. So even though there are younger players coming in, they will get their opportunity and chance. And like he said there's a mixture of youth and experience. Michel in goal, we know what he's about. He's been there all last year. Dinesh has played before, Tom Domba has as well. As you already mentioned, Ashir, Yasser Hamid coming into that back line will bring the experience. Philip Atu's back, Rema in the middle there trying to control things. The one thing that really interests me and the one thing that I'm happy about with this Northeast side, we've got an Indian striker playing up top. Manveer gets the nod today, as he did in a couple of the games as well for the Durand Cup. So he's putting his trust in Manveer. So let's see what the young boy can do.
And alongside him, Parthiv Gogoi, he's an exciting talent. Wonderful goals last season, a couple of them. Can really strike a ball.
Absolutely, and a local lad from Assam, and definitely going away. And now, we must have to pick which Manveer Singh we're talking about, very particular. If tomorrow you say who's your favourite player, you'll have to say Manveer from Northeast.
Well, it used to be Jerry. Did you not know that one? We used to be Jerry, then it was young Jerry. Then we had a Jerry the even younger, and we had a young Jerry. So I think we'll know which Manveer we're talking about. It won't be the Mohun Bagan one.
By the way, there's an interesting comment out there that says the Northeast United fan, our high-rise are better than Mumbai's high. Our mountains are higher than, from Mumbai high-rise.
Well, let's listen to what Gaurav Bora has to say about the upcoming campaign.
Going to have lots of new signings this season for the Northeast. So how has pre-season been with so many new faces in the building?
Yeah, I think it's good. All the players are prepared for the game, and we are really looking forward to the game.
You had a very tough season last year, yet you've shown us in the Durand Cup that you can compete this year. What's different?
I think the mentality of the players, I think it's changed now, and like you said, we have tasted victory in Durand Cup, so we like it and we want to go for it again. We want more and more of that.
Tough game tonight, though, up against the Shield winners from last year. What can we expect from the Northeast side?
Of course, it won't be an easy game for both of us, but you can definitely see some good football, and everyone is going to give their 120%.
You've been named captain for the team. How much of an honour is that for you?
Well, it's a very proud moment for me and my family. and it's amazing to lead this group of players. I'm just very thankful to the coach, and we're just looking forward to the game.
Gaurav, have a good one tonight and have a great season. All the best.
Thank you.
Mace, we talk about it at some point in the season, but it is important to mention it now. It's also about managing travel. Being in Northeast, traveling all over this massive country, and how clever the management can be in making it easier for the players.
I'll make it easier for you to understand. Mumbai have decided to fly to Northeast and then go to Odisha, who they play on Thursday. That's good management because that's sensible rather than flying 3.5 hours back to go again. It is vitally important that you get that side of the game right.
Well, now it's time for the rewind of the day, and here's a look at Mumbai City's brilliant double-winning season. And that desire will help them get a goal in the first quarter of an hour. Maybe their 7th now. As an attempt comes in! And it's Murtada Fall! Rising high like a high-rise in Mumbai!
Once again, a brilliant ball from Jahu. A great header, but question marks.
Fernan takes it. Oh, rattles the bar. And then it's gone in. It's Batu Peche. And Mumbai City are 2-0 ahead.
Congratulations to Mumbai City FC for what's been a fantastic campaign and for qualifying to the group stages of the AFC Champions League.
Outside a foul launches it long, Beche gives chase, just blocked off by Turi. Oh, the goalkeeper's made a mistake, carrying down, and it's Beche in on goal. Can he finish? And boxes Turi, still going. Bippin! Is that the goal that wins it for Mumbai City? It's a goalkeeping howler from Arundel. And here come Mumbai. We're over the 4 minutes added time. They'll just be happy to keep the ball in the Mumbai half. And there goes the whistle. Mumbai City become just the second team to top the league and win the final following Bengaluru 2 years ago. The champions of the Hero Indian Super League Season 7 are Mumbai City FC, only the second team to achieve both after Bengaluru 2 seasons ago.
What a wonderful season that was. And in the previous season, Mumbai City against Northeast United did the double, a 3-1 win and a 4-0 win. So historically, Mumbai City obviously having the edge over Northeast United.
Yes, they do, but, you know, that was last year. Anything can happen. This is football.
True, and I think Des Buckingham probably knows that he doesn't have to take his opponents lightly this time because he also sees a mix of players. And talking about players, here's your cue to pick your team on the fantasy.indiansuperleague.com. Mace and Pulla, all the best. Hopefully you win something in the end of the season.
Well, Parthiv Gogoi is one to keep an eye out on. Some really good gems in there, some nice budget picks for those looking at Northeast United. And I don't have any players for this week, but I want to have a look at what they can do and then probably get one of those budget buys and make some space in there. Mace, are you keeping an eye on someone?
I'm keeping an eye on everyone. You might just want to keep an eye on this one. I'm keeping an eye on everyone. Let me tell you, my team will drastically change throughout the season, that you can be sure of.
I hope he knows it's only one free transfer.
No, I thought he's going to keep an eye on your team.
He better.
No, I've stole his login. So I'm going to change his whole team.
Well, Northeast are currently on a 9-game winless streak, and this is the longest such streak by any team in any season in the ISL. But that can change, and that could change within the next couple of hours as we get ready for Northeast against Mumbai City. What a good game coming up, exciting. Northeast looking very positive. Fans are out there. Mumbai City obviously positive. And it's time for kickoff in a few minutes. You'll be joined by Mark Tompkins and Paul Maysfield.